Okay, so let me get this straight. It's Thanksgiving. I have nothing to be thankful for, so I'm not conforming to your idiocy and diluted whatever. There is in the north of New York, and the 50 postage stamps of idiocy called United States of America that has lost its way. It's got some kind of union. Nobody really knows how it's governed ever because it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't teach its children anything. It's actually more of a Chinese mental torture unit and mental ward of a psychiatric facility that is then funding future death, torture, and the defense of only the military and none of the people. Right. Okay, so that's the avenue, that's the capsize I was born in. It's like a captive and not captivated. I'm not impressed at all. But I'm kind of in the landscape, like, I don't know, it just keeps sitting on me. Right, okay, so here's the thing. There's the place to the north, they call it the Ministry. And then they've got the Orida, which is the Ontario Frozen Food Company. I put that up yesterday. Orida, Oreida is the Ontario Frozen Food Company that delivers tater tots, TATTERTOTS, to America. Right, yeah, great. We get them in New York. So now, in my part of the union. Now, they have a magical royal, God only knows what up there. We don't know. There's only a queen that's crowned in England, according to anybody that sends us messages. Apparently, there is a gigantic line of deluge, and the people in Canada do not like the people from the lower units to come visit or to know anything inside the union. They are like a people all to themselves. Now, they have something called Ministry, like they're in the know because they've got like a Royal Air Force, I think. I don't know who the fuck's managing their French unit or their English unit in Spracha. However, on world scale, there is one. Give me a second. Just give me a second to finish. So there is one set of future. That's it. You are given the agenda. Now, the ministry are the moving pieces. They're the ones that are supposed to be better in the know, and they're supposed to let their congregation stand on the minister's shoulders to take a peek so they know what it is that they're striving in a better tomorrow for. Now, if the ministers are given the information because they hang out with the Royal Air Force and Guard of something special, and they're required to then come and disseminate the correct information to the people through congregation and through ministry, why are they not actively seeking participants? I have never in my life, if I'm invited somewhere, I go. Now, I, being the one and only true heiress to Stargate, being the highest point in the whatever, allowed the ministers and the Department of Defense, by royal decree and law, they are required to help the unbeknownst, the uneducated, and the people restore their own honor. Now, I have the only lamb. I don't eat lamb. I am the embodiment of the lamb, right? The Hebrew religion puts the blood of the lamb, a little spracha, on the top of their mantle, and they ask the evil spirits to pass over them. They don't get really involved, but I appreciate them for not eating me. So now the Christian guys, right, okay, so they know about the Lamb of God. They're supposed to listen with open heart and open mind and for their own ministry and for their own mucho gusto, they're supposed to follow the one Lamb of God without devouring the entire lamb and then coveting someone else's wife, because that one lamb is the one you don't want to covert and you don't want to devour. So we teach you the why we're going in a certain direction for future to protect the people. So where is all of this break in? You have a Lamb of God. The pastors, the ministers are supposed to be vegan and not eat. Like they can sit at the table and learn everything. So this way then they can put it in action with their people. So this way it doesn't, grow dangerously. But now, why is it that the ministers and pastors have forsaken the Lamb herself, that have spoken to them about which direction she needed for the safety of everybody, and so that she herself, in her reemergence, does not get devoured by not only the pastors, the ministry, but the entire congregation? I mean, I'm in a land in the 50 postage stamp union. In New York, specifically, they took religion out of the school and out of government. Okay, so the ministry is the Royal Air Force and Guard and the banking and the understanding of what the main global operation is up to, what they need, what your part and contribution is, and then so they can plan and budget for your part and section. Now, if the entire New York area goes on a religious fasting and decides not to invite ministry into New York in order to educate them in a vegan way, so they're not overindulging on a meal that they weren't supposed to eat, because you're not supposed to eat the little vegan, don't overindulge on the information and on the whatever, right? Got it. Okay. So now, whose plan are you on, human, if you deny the ministry who has the Department of Defense and is trying to budget and take care of the land things on the surface properly, right? You're switching your entire role into some covert, what? I mean, now you've got Republic of China, you got some republic coming in. They're starving you of information, of future, of process, of money. You can't feed and clothe yourself. Right, got it. Okay. So I said, they already put that part in place. Father, whichever, pastor, whatever, whoever I was talking to. I said, so I woke up where my grandmother, again, didn't live she had and she had no time because she had 10 kids. So she had already had everything taken from her and was upside down in the capsized boat. Then my mother came along and had just me, and they've been trying to tread water with me sitting on top of the capsized boat, but they don't have anything. And there's nobody actively soliciting them or participating in engaging in a participation manner. I was like, now how am I supposed to survive already having been capsized 2 generations? I'm in the 3rd. I want to be a mother. I was like, and there's nobody coming to solicit me or seek out a helping hand. I mean, I don't mind contributing, but I've been stolen from for 2 generations. I was put in the red zone where we've already been republicked and the ministry has totally forsaken us. And now I appear and you want me to contribute and participate. I would be more than happy to, but then how do I survive? Which way do I go? If I devote myself to the whatever, I'm fine with that. But then, nobody comes, there's no information, there's no meetings, there's no invitation. How do you survive, Minister? Royal Air Force? Department of Defense. So you're purposely starving the people of education, of the process, of the budget, of the leadership, and you've switched on to some other process. And what, nobody's like thinking about fixing it ever? I'm just curious. And then you get mad at me that I don't contribute enough and that I'm too negative. No, I'm reporting directly to the head of the SS and the ministry and the Vatican and the Union, and I'm bringing in all of the pieces to a one factual occurrence. Now, in the ministry's part of the puzzle, they knew about this years in advance. They've known that they've been doing this to New York and parts of the Union, which is why they hide in Canada. So now what are we up to? I'm just curious. How do I get help to anybody in a union in the 50 postage stamps of like retarded and less than kids that everybody's fucking with and nobody wants to take responsibility for? Right, okay, so you stood on my shoulders since I had the plan to fix. You then shouted out to all of the Union, the Vatican, the ministry, the defense, and the people that I was an uncut, unpolished person and that I was taking a defensive stance against the royals, which is not allowed. And what? You're going to shut me down? I don't think so. I own the fucking Stargate. You don't have a royal anything without my say-so. I have the #1 position of admirable and U.S. justice and federal positioning in the say-so because you purposely took all of my vegan material that I asked for help with and you devoured my entire appearance and forcefully pushed me into being raped twice and to being held down by your own ministry's hand and by the Department of Defense hand without any intervention. You didn't even try. Now, the word ministry is M-I-N-I-S. I'm in a Mini Cooper. I'm cooped up in a little mini compartment in this reality, in this future. And I'm trying to orate, which is orita, is O-R, and then it's an idea, I-D-E-A. So I'm trying to orate an idea. I'm giving it my little mini try, the best I can. I was doing it in 1980 as well, before you then forced this route and punished me completely. So now where does humanity go from here, since I am such a pivotal and atria important body order in the totality and the summation of this appearance?